Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Shino. We're back in Modded to the Magical Max. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. Last episode, we went through the process of getting stuff started for Alchemy mod. We were able to make at least the tier 1 edibles and the tier 2 potions that we got done. We left off working on the tier 3 potions. I left some cuttings up here of catmint going. Those are done. But we are still waiting for the Hakobi-te to be finished up and ready to go. I do have that working over here. You'll see I have 26 liters of red currant wine currently brewing right now. And that is going to be turning into red currant brandy as this continues to go. And where are we? 7 hours of fuel? Yeah, it's good. I did finish off with the cranberry that we made from squeezing out in the last episode. That has gone through the 7 days. It fermented. I processed it, and now that is over here. So from 20 liters of cranberry juice, we got 2 liters of cranberry brandy out of that. Yeah. So you're definitely going to have a lot. If I were to turn this is going to turn into 3 liters of red currant brandy. If I were to distill it again, it'd be 0.3 liters, I think, of Hakobi-te. So you really need about 100 liters of any juice to get 1 liter of Hakobi-te during this process. Cool. Let me sleep through the night, and we'll go check out what else has been going on. Slept through the night, and of course, that is going to use up the fuel. So let's get that lit back up. Yes, this is going to be another one of those daily task things you got to do once you get started in it. So it's best, my recommendation is, build up a lot of the juice and then do it kind of all at once. Get it all done instead of nickel and diming it like I'm doing here. So between episodes, I have been working more on this building over here, trying to figure out the shape of how I want to make it. I've settled on this. I think that's going to look pretty good. Backside here, I did go ahead and finish off. My goodness. Hello, sir. Oh, there's another one. A little ankle biter. There we go. I did finish off this area here. I put a little roof, a slanted roof on it. Let me harvest these before they disappear. I still need lots of flax still. Nope. And no. Shoot. But anyways, I think it looks pretty good. Inside, we now have a little bit of a covering in here. In this area. And then that is the floor to the second level that I'm currently working on now. So almost at a pretty good spot for having this bottom level done, and then we can start furnishing it. Pumpkins got harvested. Those have all made it to their next step. So I have a collection of pumpkin seeds here that will be the next group that we do whenever we go to replant this after winter has passed. Also been harvesting most of the flax that was from the host plants. That's all been done and harvested. We are now getting close to the 8, 9, 7, 9 range for the rest of these. So we should be able to get the rest of this harvested here within just a couple of episodes. And of course, while all that was going on, continue to take care of my animals here. We still have our piggies, which are pregnant. They've gained some weight. They're no longer, now you see it says they're starving. It's not saying that they are skin and bones anymore. It says they're starving. Famished. There's one that says skin and bones. But I have been doing a pretty good job of keeping them fed as I've been harvesting flax, coming over and filling up their troughs. And then, of course, I had a temporal storm that came through, slept through it, but it got me thinking we really need to have an area for being able to fight during temporal storms, a nice little storm shelter. or a place that we can jump into for protection during storms if we don't want to fight through them. But I think having a storm shelter that we can use for harvesting during the storms, probably a good idea, considering we still need to make quite a few advances in Rustbound Magic, and we're going to need those temporal fragments, temporal gears, and regular gears to do all of that. So this episode, we're going to build a storm shelter. Well, that didn't work out very good at all. I forgot to hit record. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, let's get over here and take a peek at where we are. So I decided that I'm going to set up the shelter over here in this area. So we start off by digging an 11 by 11 pit, going down 4 blocks. Now, I did have to do a little bit of terraforming in this area, as you can see here, to kind of get everything to the right level. And I'll continue to clear out more of this. I'm going to take like this hill here down, bring that area up. Just going to make this whole area nice and flat here. We're going to get rid of the trees, make this a good spawnable area around us for mobs to spawn. So we dug this down 11 by 11. You're going to build a plus sign down here in the middle. And you're going to put a slab on the bottom, stairs on either side of it. And I'm calling this the cardinal points. So on the cardinal directions, put in a stairs. And then put in a slab on top of that. What you don't want is you don't want a flat surface, block surface down in this lower area where things can spawn on. Cool? So this is going to be the kill chamber down in here. Do I have my ladders? Yep. I'll just do this for now so we can get down here and look at it. This is going to be the kill chamber right here that you're going to be able to stand in to do battle with the hostiles as they come at you, okay, from either side. Cool. Yeah, like I said, this goes down. So you start off with the 11 by 11, then you're going to dig down another 2 blocks down to make a 2 by 3 by 3 by 2 deep area. But I would go ahead and just leave those blocks instead of, unless you want to replace them. But for me, it's like, I'm not going to do the digging on it. So slab, stair, 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 and then put slabs on top of those. Cool. Outside the chamber, outside that area, you're going to dig out 1 block in front of each one of those openings. Right there. On all 4 sides. And then go ahead and put in your blocks around to make this 2 more tall. 1, 2. And then go ahead and fill out the outside. That's where we kind of left off at. Now, do I have... I don't. That's why I left. Gosh darn it. I left to go get another hammer. That's when I realized I'm not recording. Let's see. Do I have any more? I do. We'll take those. Now what I want to do is go ahead and put another layer all the way across on this. I'm going to cover this whole thing right here. And now we're going to go 1 more block tall so that now it's parallel with the outside edge. And we're going to fill in this center area except for the center block. And this is where our ladders are going to go. Now you're going to have to choose a direction. You know, do you want that to be the opening? Do you want that way to be the opening. Which way do you want the opening to go on this? I'm going to put the opening going that way. So I'm going to put my stairs over on this side. Now we're going to close this area here in also, like that. And we're going to put slabs on this side of the roof. So we now have an area where we can hide into whenever storms come. Cool. I'm going to leave that like, because I believe if I jump, nope, can't make it. There we go. Now I can. Now we have a way of getting in and out. You are going to need a lot of trap doors when you go to put this together. So make sure you have a good steady supply of wood coming in. I still have a lot of the redwood from the trees that were in this area that I cut down. So I'm still using that. It doesn't matter what you make your trapdoors out of because they're all going to look the same. I don't know. Is there... Oops. Let's do trapdoor. Yeah, no, there's only one version of the trapdoor you can make. So, yeah, just use whatever you've got available. Okay, I'm going to remove that for now. I'm just going to put this over here in the corner. It's going to be going away here shortly. We still need a way to get out of there. Take your trap doors and you're going to attach them all along this outside edge like that. And do the same thing on the outside edge. Oops. Make sure you're placing them against the top edge of the block that's directly across from you. And then you can open all these up. Trap doors function as a solid block surface. See, I can stand out here on it. They also function as an air block that allows things to pass through it. That's the mechanic that we're going to be using because the Drifter AI can't tell the difference between an open and a closed trap door. They'll think that they can walk across that too wide opening and they will fall down into our trap. We are now ready to start working on what I call the Hunker bunker. And what the Hunker bunker is, it's a place to hide out when things get bad. For this to work, we're still going to need quite a few trap doors. I'm going to remove that ladder right there. And we're going to replace it with a trap door. But I want that trap door to be on the top edge, oops, of the next block. Just like that. Okay. So this you'll see is now the solid surface. And I'm going to use, yeah, let's go ahead and see if I've got enough of these to be able to make this. So I'm going to create, this is actually going to be 3 high. Just like that. And I'm going to leave, oh, actually, let's go one more up. Right there. Create a door. Very nice. And now I'm going to put another layer outside here. And we're going to take 2 trapdoors and we're going to place them just like that. That still allows us to be able to get in whenever we need to. But it also eliminates the airspace in here so things can't spawn inside it. Now all the way around on this outer ring, we're going to close off this wall also. So it's going to be a 2 wide thick. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of glass on either side. Now, we're not going to put any glass on the back side of this. Just going to be inside this area here. And I'm going to put ladders into every spot here. So I want every space that can have something in it needs to have something in it. So this block right here would normally be a spawnable location if that ladder wasn't there. But because we've got the ladder there, now that negates being able to spawn in this area. Now everywhere along these sides where we've got the windows, we're going to put in 3 more trap doors to negate that area. Then up here on the roof, we're going to go ahead and put down the slabs to close this all off. There we go. We are now entirely enclosed inside this area. Now we need to negate the ability for them to spawn out here on this edge right here, because the idea is we want them to go down into the trap. We don't want them spawning out in this area. Remember, during temporal storms, almost all spawning conditions are bypassed. During normal conditions, the spawning mechanic says that they've got to have an air or a grass block. It has to be a light level less than 7, and they can't spawn within a certain distance of the player. That's under normal conditions. During a temporal storm, all of those conditions are bypassed with the exception of an air block. They still have to be able to have an air block. Now, it doesn't mean, because you'll hear people say, well, I had a drifter spawn right on top of me inside my little room. They were able to get to me. Yes. And that's because the game code, when it determines that that block is a spawnable location, it can allow the mobs to spawn within 1.5 blocks of that location. So if it were to register and say, yep, that's a spawnable location, it could spawn here, it could spawn in the air here, or even right here diagonally to me, or anywhere out along there. 1.5 blocks within that location there. If you'll notice, we've created our little area here. This is a 1x1, but you'll see we've eliminated all the spawning locations for 2 blocks away from it. That's what's going to keep anything from spawning down inside our little chamber inside there, is the fact that it is 2 blocks thick. Now, we do need to negate the ability for them to spawn out on the surfaces of this area here. So we're going to go ahead and lay slabs down everywhere except for going into the entrance. Oh, am I out of slabs? I'm out of slabs. Just need 2. Perfect. Now this whole area is spawn proof. They cannot spawn anywhere. The only spawnable block that they have now is this block right there. That is the only block that they can spawn on. And what can we do to negate that? Now that is no longer a spawnable location. So when it comes time to get into our storm shelter, you're going to see we're stuck. We're going to walk up to it, hit the shift key to squat, open it up, and we are inside and protected. And honestly, if you wanted to, I guess you could go ahead and leave that up. Having that there negates that from being an air block anyways. So it wouldn't make that big of a deal. That way you don't have to squat coming into it. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's go inside here because we've got one more thing that we need to deal with. And that's down here in this area. What we don't want to be able to do is I want to get rid of every airspace in here. So if I can plant a torch on it, it's still considered an airspace. So I don't want to have that. So on the opposite walls, meaning this side, oops, wrong angle. Right there. Right there. And right there. And then finally, we do want to put trap doors also where you see. Oh, I hear a guy already. There he is. That wasn't supposed to happen. A trapdoor there. And then don't forget these sides as well. Put trapdoors on them. Cool. And that should take care of this entire area. As you can see, I'm clicking and there's now no place. How did I do that? Oh, and I remember there's another 4 more trapdoors. So you also need like an OS gate. Would come in handy with that guy right there. So be able to have these so we can close these and open them as we need. And I need to make another 2. And there we go. That's too funny. All right, and I do want to remove this one right there. Cool. All right, so this is an interesting point. These little crawly guys can get inside here and get at you. Okay, so keep that in mind whenever you're out battling these guys. All right, as you can see in the little tooltip, we got a temporal storm coming up. So we're going to have to work through the night here. And we're going to get this thing done. Yeah, it's going to be a little dark. I'm going to try to... my gamma is all the way up. Hang on one second. All right, we're going to go into accessibility tweaks. We're going to go here. We're going to turn on the brightness. We're going to brighten the level up. And I think... see if that helps us any. Not really. I guess it is helping a little bit. If I didn't enable it, you look off to the left, you can see a slight change. All right, we'll see what we can get. If we can keep it bright enough for you to see. All right, let's take a bucket of water. We're going to go down into our trap area here. There, he's gone. And you're going to start off, you're going to put your water in that corner. Grab you a source block and put it in the opposite corner. Just like that. Grab you a source block and do that all the way around. And now let's remove these temporary blocks. There you go. Trap is now set. And you see the water is going to push anything that lands down in it. It's going to push it towards those openings, which is exactly what we want to happen. So this should be done. And we've got about 50 minutes before the storm starts. So we're going to give this thing a test run. Be right back. All right. We are now officially in the temporal storm. We are inside the Hunker bunker. We are not down in the lower area yet. We are in the upper area. This is the area you're going to run into if you just want to ride out the storm, right? You don't want to sleep through it. You just want to ride it out. This is where you'd hang out at. If we go down below, we should be safe in this area as well. And we can go ahead and always close these up. So see, there's a guy right there. There's our first victim. And there he just got pushed right into us. There it is. And there you go. They're going to start packing up in these different corners. We can just go and open up a door, dispatch them as we see fit. We can close the door if we wanted to. That way we don't have to worry about anybody else getting pushed in on us. Loot. And let them despawn. All right, there's one that is a, let's see, he's a crawler. So the crawlers can get in here. That's one thing you have to watch out for, is that the crawlers can get in. Hey, temporal gear. Cool. Oh, I just did it with, I just harvested that temporal gear again. I gotta watch myself when I do that. There you go. This is the temporal storm shelter with the Hunker bunker up on top. But always remember, if you don't want to go down and fight them, you don't have to. You have this area right up here on top, perfectly safe to stand here, and you're not going to have to worry about having to fight off during the temporal storm. Nothing can spawn in this area. That's the important part. We are too deep. We've got all the air spaces around us are filled up. Nothing can spawn in here on us. Nothing can spawn down there to get in there and get on us. So I think this is pretty cool. And this is relatively easy to do in your own world because we're not having to use a lot of fancy blocks. If you don't want to, you could build this out of dirt if you wanted. The important part is you're going to have access for making glass. So you're going to have to be at least the 10 bronze stage if you want windows to look out. But you will need to be at least into metal smithing with copper so that you can make a saw for making the boards, for making your slabs, your doors, and your trap doors. Cool. All right, I'm going to keep harvesting some more here. Hey, got a double-headed drifter. Haha. Nice. You know what that means? A gear. Ooh, 2 temporal gears. Make sure we don't put that. 32 regular gears, flax fibers, and a Jonas part. Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, another double-headed drifter. And that's why this thing's good to have an OS kind of button on it in case you get some crawlers close by. And the storm is over. Just going to clean up the remnants here. And all in all, not a bad haul. 51 gears, 22 pieces of flax, 4 temporal gears, 5 temporal fragments, and 2 Jonas parts from all that. So I've got to say, pretty successful running through the storm. And like I said, this works out really good. You can use this to fight them with if you want to, or if you want to, you can just, as I said, hunker down up here and not have to worry about the storms at all anymore. Cool. Next episode, we are going to be advancing, hopefully, to get our tier 3 spells done. I thought I was close to doing it, but if I go and I take this off, boom, boom, and boom, and then we take a look at it, I'm only at 108. So I got to get 42 more levels between now and the next episode so that we can advance to tier 3 as a mage, which I think is going to be pretty cool. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for spending time with me. This is Shino, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.